hop in our Jeep and head to Australia to review Outback, the new Yahtzee-style family game designed by Michael Kiesling and published by HUCH and Friends. How did we like this new dice rolling game? Stay tuned to find out. Outback plays with 2 to 4 players and takes about 10 to 15 minutes per player. Our thoughts on Outback come after 3 plays with 2 players and 2 plays with 4 players. In Outback, you're responsible for transporting the 5 different types of animals from the zoo back into their natural habitat in the Australian Outback. First off, the components of Outback are nice. The player boards and animal tiles and tokens are made out of a sturdy cardboard that has a nice glossy finish. The dice are heavy and solid with nice colorful animal images on each side. The artwork is pleasing, with cute animals and some fun Australian Outback scenes. The main mechanism used is the basic Yahtzee system of dice rolling, combined with some simple tile placement and a twist in the end-of-game scoring. On your turn, you'll roll the dice up to 3 times in order to get at least 2 of one type of animal, as long as that animal tile is available on the Jeep. As in Yahtzee or the more modern King of Tokyo, you can stop rolling whenever you like, and you can re-roll any number of dice. When you decide to stop rolling, or after your 3 rolls, you can take the animals you've rolled from the Jeep and place them on your Outback tableau, according to the amount of dice of that animal you have rolled. If you were not able to take an animal in your round, you'll receive minus victory points at the end of the game. You score victory points immediately, 1 per animal placed on your tableau, and if you connect animals of the same kind, all connected animals will score again. The game ends when one player has filled up their entire Outback tableau with animal tiles. The most interesting part of the game is that there are 2 scoring tracks. All animals first score on the left track, where the points increase normally. Once one type of animal has reached the top of the left scoring track, it switches to the second track, which begins back at a score of 1. At the end of the game, only the points from the 3 lowest scoring animals on the left track will count, and all animals on the top scoring track count. The game can be played in 2 different modes, an easy mode or a more advanced mode where you can add special bonus tiles that can be obtained when fulfilling special situations, like collecting 5 tiles of one animal on your tableau. We were excited to play Outback, which is another abstract game from Michael Kiesling following the amazing Spiel des Jahres winner Azul. We went into the game without any previous knowledge, and we were quite surprised with how difficult it was to understand the rules for this fairly easy game. The rulebook wasn't easy to read, which isn't ideal for a family game, and we hope that others have an easier time making sense of the rules. For us, it was also a problem that not everything was explained in the rules. In the second round of our first play, we already stumbled upon situations for which we couldn't find any answer in the rulebook. For example, can you use 6 dice of the same animal to take 2 tiles of that animal and put each one on the number 3 field, so 2 times a value of 3? As you probably realized during the brief rules explanation, the basic gameplay of Outback is very easy to explain. It uses the Yahtzee mechanism, where the most difficult decision for you as the player is to decide which type of animal or animals you would like to put in your Outback tableau. Should I try to gather as much of one animal as possible, which should give me a lot of points for that animal, or should I take a few of each animal for a more balanced point total for all 5 animals? You'll also try to find the best way to use the dual scoring tracks, which does make the game a bit more interesting and not as straightforward as if there were just one normal linear scoring track. And we actually did really like the scoring track. It's our favorite part of the game. And this general flow and the objectives of the game sounded good on paper, particularly because we normally love rolling dice, and we do enjoy a nice family-weight game. During our first night of playing, we played the game 3 times in a row, and after the 3 plays, we were very saturated. During the second play, the game already felt too long for what the game offers. The dice rolling aspect just felt too easy. The joker or wild side of the dice, which can count for any animal, is really strong. There just wasn't much of a challenge, and we rarely had to take minus points for not being able to take any animal from the Jeep. There is of course always an element of luck when rolling dice, which can add some surprises and or create slight hiccups in your plans. But in many of our games, we were able to completely fill up our tableau, sometimes with the exception of one field, which was often the highest field on the board, where you need to roll the same animal with all dice, which is equivalent to rolling a Yahtzee. We did find that accomplishing and following your ideal plan for your animal tableau was a little more difficult with 4 players, because there the animal tiles start to become limiting. If several people are going crazy for koalas, for example, it might be difficult for you to also gather several koalas. So with 4 players, you did need to adapt your strategy on the fly a little bit more, which was a welcome challenge. During the game, it can happen that the Jeep is filled with only one kind of animal, thereby leaving you with basically no decision to make. You can only take that animal type, which isn't exciting. This happens quite often, especially in a 2-player game, because normally one animal is picked less often for points than others, leading to an accumulation of that one animal that then remains on the Jeep and becomes concentrated in the animal tile pool. We would have liked to see a system where if there's only one type of animal on the Jeep, all tiles are removed and then refreshed. Alternatively, with 2 players, it would have been nice to have a built-in mechanism that allows for cycling through the animal tiles on the Jeep a little more quickly. This mostly already occurs in a game with more players, because there the animals which are selected from the Jeep are exchanged more quickly, which is nice. The game can be played in 2 different ways, a smaller basic side and an expanded side where you roll with 7 dice, and where you can add the achievements which give victory points. The basic side is quicker to play and is our preferred side to play with 4 players. But for a 2-player game, we personally prefer the expanded side because it feels like there is more variety in the ways to fill up your tableau, and the achievements give the game a little bit more depth. The problem that occurs with more players with the expanded module is that as soon as a particular accomplishment is achieved by one player, such as filling up all of the spots on one row of your tableau, it's gone from the game. If you're playing with 4 players, the last player has a disadvantage for achieving these goals. Again, this is a rule which could be fixed by house ruling, or could have been originally fixed by having each accomplishment tile present in 2 or 3 copies, with a decreasing value in points as the goal is completed later in the game, like in Baron Park, for example. Overall, Outback first sounded like a cute Yahtzee variant, which we hope to bring to the table often. Sadly, the decisions you can make while rolling the dice are sometimes too limited, and your goals are often too easy to accomplish. Therefore, the game isn't interesting enough and features too little innovation to hold our attention for playing it over and over again. The advanced variant was a nice idea, but it comes with too many small drawbacks, which we, as more experienced gamers, are bothered by. We're sure that families will enjoy a round of Outback here and there. It might even be a good game to play for a family with younger kids, or to introduce them to the concept of repeat scoring of connected tiles in a chain. We just hope that the rules will be more easily understandable for others than they were for us. We would recommend that you try Outback to see if it's the right fit for your group or family. For us, Outback doesn't have enough innovation and features too many drawbacks to stay in our collection.
Thank you for watching Games Up. See you next time.